And I think next up we have I don't give a fuck what she's doing. Salty?
Yes.
How's that?
Vision. Going with the immediate snake pick. Not Ridley.
I said he was warm, like even before that said he was warming up with Snake. I said, I'll be honest, it's great to see him back on it, right?
Yep.
It's definitely a very good comfort pick, and you can see when people kind of start getting it going, like, this is my main. I play him, I know the front hand to the backhand, right?
Yep.
And I like seeing it. I said, not saying it really isn't great, but definitely some situations where he almost looks like he's trying to play Snake on a Ridley. And you're like, you're not, I'm sorry, but you just don't have that much freedom to be coming back like that.
You were too slow.
When you play a character, you got to make that character
You were
yours.
too slow.
But we have Salty versus R-Dog. This is third seed versus fourth of the pool.
How crazy is it that R-Dog is the third seed of a pool? That just shows the level of talent here.
It's crazy.
Like, that is a crazy
Hey, I was
statement.
like, I'm like 16th seed here. What are you talking about?
I know you were.
Bro, like, that's what's crazy to me is like seeing like, because even like me, you know, obviously I don't play anymore, right? But like when I was playing, it's like this dude was like, if we had this type of event when I was like consistently competing, this dude's like easy first or second seed in like any pool almost, you know? Like just at that point in time, right?
It is that question when you have that problem. You're like, well, this guy's so good. Why is he? And I was like, that's how some
It's
it
just
works.
how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
would
just
you
how it
expect
goes.
all good players? You're going to end up with a pool of no one good? That's not how that works.
That's the way it be.
And that's okay, because like, especially in a tournament like this, where like I said, we quite literally have the finest of our region, right? Like, you kind of have to go in with the mindset of like, doesn't matter what seed you are, doesn't matter like who you have to play. You have to go in the mindset of you have to beat everybody to win this tournament. Even though you don't have to actually play everybody, you got to think you have to beat everybody to win this tournament.
I said there's 16 guys and they're all buck wild.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have a plan for everybody.
Like even like some people that you didn't maybe not necessarily expect, right? Like you never know what could happen. Like Lanny or Zandomo could just come through and upset somebody out of nowhere. Like they're, you know.
And that's the big twist
talent.
is you have some of these guys that there's chances for matchup checks, right? For people that haven't played all region, even though they've been in the region for a long time. Guys that have been on the come up, that have been waiting for their chance in the light. That's the whole point of Odin's. And I said, you have no idea what's going to happen. It is once you enter that room, bro, it is a breeze, cool. But in your mind, if you're sweating your ass off in there. Oh, gosh.
100%.
I was talking with Lanny about it yesterday. I was like, that room is the scariest thing to be in. Because it is just you and your opponent.
No, I told him, I was telling all the guys, I said, when you go in that summer room, it's only you and your opponent. I said, well, the only reason yesterday there was 3 of us in there because we had to do the tiebreaker, and that made it worse.
Yeah, that was worse.
I said, you sit on the couch, you're like, I'm about to die. Yeah,
You're
I
like,
guess it's my
you
turn.
gotta win or lose.
You're
So
like,
I
Lanny
do
was
or
telling
die.
me, it's like, you're just sitting there looking, you're like, everything is looking at me. This is it. Like, I am before all. This is terrifying.
Yeah, tiebreakers are the scariest things.
But no, some players live for that, man. If you can play under that pressure, that is huge.
That's
That is
the number one
huge.
thing about it. It's just that tournament, like, nerves never goes away. You just get better at dealing with it.
That's true.
Yep.
We had this conversation in the car. That's the whole reason for practice.
Exactly.
I said it may be an esports, it's still a sport, it's a competitive thing.
Yep.
When you get pushed to the edge, you fall back on your practice. And if you don't practice, that's where it shows.
You got nothing to fall
when
back
that
on.
nervous, you make those same, we like to say those rookie or JV mistakes that players that are first getting into it that don't realize they are, like the constant rolling in when you're scared, just jumping from ledge every single time because you don't want to die, getting that stuff called out. And then the more that pressure gets on, the more you're going to make those mistakes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I said this has definitely been very impressive. We've seen some crazy games. Yesterday was literally like a marathon, and then I had to wake up this morning and come back again.
Yeah.
I was like,
Of course.
great.
We're hitting
Gotta
the
keep
ground
going.
running, and we ain't stopping.
And especially like some of you guys, like, you Weapon, Dre, right? You guys are doing it all, right? You're playing, you guys played in some of the side events, right? I mean, I know you got to what grands of squads, right? Like,
And dubs.
and dubs, jeez, like.
And 4v4.
Okay.
I get it.
I get it.
All right, my fault. But
Yeah?
like even so, like some of you guys, like this is definitely like, despite being a small bracket, like you have to have such mental toughness in this bracket, like such a mental fortitude to be able to play such a long bracket. Consist like every set's best of 5, right? You can go to game 5 every single set, like.
That's hell. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Trust me, you don't want to. I've done it too many times of having to go back to back game 5s, losers bracket runs. You don't ever want to do that, because by the time you're gonna hit a point, everybody hits that wall, right? Everybody runs out of steam at some point, and that is honestly the worst feeling.
It was the wisest words Panicking ever told me after one of my events where I played Luna in winners finals, at grand finals, and a reset. He walked up to me after and said, "Peter, you had to play 14 games with Luna?" No, fuck
Bro,
that.
yeah, bro. He counted the games. Once you start counting the games,
Yeah.
It's a no-go, bro. Stop.
Yeah, you
Stop.
can't
And
think
here at
it.
Summit, you got the risk to play you got your round option, you got tiebreakers, you got gauntlet, you got bracket. You could be playing who knows how many games.
It's quite literally like if you're in like say like a basketball game or something like that, right? Like you don't want to look at the clock, right? Like sometimes you don't want to look at the clock just because like if you're in the game
That is the same thing as looking at the games. When you win game one and you look at it and you see, I got to win two, you start counting them, and you've already lost. You got to just play one game at a time. You're going to get yourself so tired.
And
This is
here
the thing
we
Mango
go.
said, just
We're
like
about
you
to get
lost that
started.
game, it didn't happen.
So I'm expecting to
Broken
see
on the
some
way.
really good stuff from Salty. He is hilarious if you guys haven't talked to him today. I
He's so
missed the
funny.
game, and he was telling me, he said, yeah, I tried to bait Keo with a taunt. That sentence itself was wrong. That was a violation. Bro, he said he tried to do the little fire taunt and then up B.
Yeah.
And I go ask Keo, what you think? And Keo said, I thought he was Falcon punching me. I had no idea what was going on.
That's exactly
I said,
what
yeah.
he said. I was rooming with Salty, and he said that's the mix-up he's going for.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you think it's Falcon punch? And then I let it go.
Hey,
So-
this is the turn to pull out all the tricks out of the bag, bro. Well, maybe save a couple cards up your sleeve if you know
So,
looking
like,
for top
for
8.
sure.
For every bit of clown energy Salty has and just the way he talks and the way he plays, like, don't forget, this dude's one of the old guard of, like, the scene. Like, this
Oh
dude
my
plays
God,
Melee,
he
this guy's been
wants
here
all
forever.
the smoke. Did we see that?
So, like, he will just go
Ooh.
crazy, but it's not because he, like, doesn't know better. It's like, no, this dude is choosing to go all in every time. That said, against a player of the caliber of Ardog, if you just keep holding forward like that,
It won't work,
we might
especially
get blown
against a
out.
character like Snake.
we seen that quick check, right? He rushed at him and he kept going, getting some of those true combos. But Ardog realized what Salty's game plan is. Salty's not really taking the time to breathe.
Yeah.
And that's starting, now he's the one getting smothered.
exactly.
And even
keep
those
you-
trades are just never in your favor.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Actually, that move is so like hard to punish unless you have a really strong like up B at a
If
shield.
you're not
right?
already like facing it or like have a really
Especially.
distant like out of shield, it's like deceptively like hard to punish.
Falcon in general just has some stuff that just doesn't seem like he should have lag, but allows you to go for a lot of
my
conditioning.
God.
But oh
Great
my
follow up
gosh.
on the throw there. Just holding the
Oh,
grenade in
here we
place.
go.
You know Salty's gonna run in at him, so just I'll wait.
Pretty much 50% off of that one conversion.
And if Ardog's
It's
gonna
still
keep
going.
holding,
Still there, man. Hey, guess what? It's
Dude.
on the flat. Watch your step.
It's still
Throw you
going.
back, Aaron.
He hasn't got touched yet.
in between either holding the grenade while holding shield
Oh
or just
my
sitting next to
God.
the shielding.
One
That
into
was
it.
so good. And we can see it up tilt.
Catching the
Yeah.
air dodge. Just Salty could not breathe that
Wow.
last one. Salty tried to run in with momentum and like did good percent at the start, lost the momentum, and just did not get it back for the rest of the set. Or the rest of the
100%.
game.
Yep.
I think one of the biggest things, I think we all kind of can think about this in the back of our mind when it comes to just this matchup, right? Is it's so big for grabs, right? Because the grenade, you can kind of armor through it and use that advantage state, and then Falcon gets so much off of a grab, right?
Yeah.
But when we all saw it, when Salty started, there wasn't much shielding from Ardog, there wasn't much grenade trades, right? And the second Ardog's like, oh, he's coming my way, I'll let him run into a grenade. Salty didn't switch. Like that's when the Falcon grabs need to start coming out. That's when the conditioning needs to change.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And at no point he looked down.
And
Not
even-
happy about that game, so I'm hoping for a change.
And if Salty is confident in it, right, like, you know, Ardog is going to look for, especially the first few times, probably he's going to look to, you know, mash grenade out of, you know, some of your combos, right? We saw him get out of the up air chain. But then you can cut it short and maybe go for, you know, something, either a reset or maybe a hard read if you're really confident in it, right? I'd like to see at least try, you know, maybe once or twice, right? Just to see, even just test the waters, right? Like, you know this is a strong player. You know that he's aware of this, but sometimes it's like you have to, like, you know, they're gonna let you. They're like, you're either gonna keep doing it and I'm gonna keep getting rewarded for it, or you're finally gonna change it and then I'll change it.
So now this is very similar to the first start we had in the last game.
Yeah, very similar. Need something stronger to break that cipher.
Very
Good-
aggressive landing options that down air.
Actually,
Oh,
Falcon
wow,
down
good
tilt
drift
those
away.
No punish on that.
That was a good drift away.
Non-tackable,
Untouchable,
that
untouchable.
100%.
That's unfortunate. Oh, are we
Double
getting?
grenade. Oh,
No
no,
ki-
no pops on that air dodge.
I love the idea.
It was a good idea.
It was so slow on the trigger pull though. That
Yeah.
if he did it immediately, got it. Stock
Absolutely.
done. Oh, that's greedy.
Scary.
You actually beat that. I know snake hitboxes are huge, but this is Falcon. I guess I'd more so expect a trade out of that.
Bold choice of that Falcon kick, but
I
that
got
kind
him
of
off stage.
like raw move of a trick, having to pull that out this early. Not
Wait,
so
he's
great.
still covered.
Alright,
He's
he
still
got
covered.
it, he got it.
Still covered.
Catching
still-
that grenade.
I said that's definitely something that players are on the come up kind of forget about. Like even though you get hit at an interaction you weren't planning, doesn't mean you don't have control of your
Exactly.
right? You got to be looking for those mix-ups right when you come out. Some people think you're just gonna sit there and look for a hit.
Immediate response to that
Oh
shoulder
my
down
god,
there. He's
a
not
nice
waiting.
dash around.
Good call.
Even just implementing this like change in movement and rhythm that Salty's doing, he's not
Great
nice
tag.
compared to the beginning where he was just holding forward. It's like paying off so much more, but at the same time, it's like those times where he's just immediately going for it. Ardog's ready to get the punish.
You know, you take a little bit of percent from grenades, not too bad. You know, eventually you're gonna get some rage, which obviously just helps Falcon.
For the raw grab. Impressive to just call that out with the spot dodge, though.
Ill advised down air. Ardog wisely dashing back.
He's kind of just holding this ledge really well. How's Salty gonna get out?
And
Yeah,
that's
he's
two
just not
that's two
letting-
jump reads in a row. He's gonna
That's
have
a
to
great
dash
recovery.
back.
See what?
Get up attack.
Looking
Grenade.
for the grab, not gonna find it. He's coming off the ledge, and you see Ardog was waiting for it.
Yep.
He was ready for it.
You're
And there's
forced to
Nikita
commit.
kill.
Just waited for it.
And that's been the death of them all set. Is that Nikita? Once he's off stage, he doesn't know how to mix it up. And that's and how could you? Falcon's recovery is not one of the worst in the game. It's pretty good, but when it comes to something that you have that much control in the air, you have to really sell.
Especially
what
because
you're
it's
going
essentially an active hitbox, and
Yep.
because you don't have a hitbox yourself, like you can't use that hitbox to beat it. You know, some characters can use their own
Exactly.
hitbox to neutralize the Nikita for a bit. Falcon doesn't have that.
The only
privilege.
trick you've got is your drift.
Falcon has like knee, and if he knees it, he's dead. So he's like, the good options is the wrong option. I'm
Exactly.
sorry. He's like,
You might be able to nair it, possibly.
I said there's probably is like a little frame where you could. It's extremely got to be tight. It's got to
Yeah.
be really good timing from Salty.
I do like the Town and City pick still. You know, it gives you a lot of space both vertically and horizontally. You know, gives you the ability to weave in and out, right? And that's what Falcon's
Get
good
up
at.
attack to cover the down throw that time. We're seeing like better decisions and smaller interactions from Salty here and there, but it doesn't matter too much when you still end up just in these
And that's
situations.
Yeah.
And that's a tight window.
Yeah.
It's hard.
To roll up with the grenade. Now you're gonna
That's
take all
nice
this damage.
Oh, Yo tried to get more, but he still is getting more actually.
Yeah, you have to respect that
And
grenade.
getting
that
there
grenade
Every
ledge get
follow
up.
up, just Salty picks one wrong option and Ardog turns it into 40 to 50%.
Grab actually, and see, just covering the options there, like there's just so many layers to snake ledge trapping. It'd be so difficult just to get out.
Is it gonna be a stock though? No,
Oh,
he
no.
messed. Oh,
He wanted to jump. I
he
know
definitely,
he
yeah,
did.
he definitely wanted
He
that
can't
platform.
be dropping those inputs in this in game 3.
Especially down a stock, a whole stock right
Yep.
now.
Dead?
Deep.
That-
You can't be missing these.
And you're dead.
can't-
Yeah.
And yeah,
Can't miss
and
these.
you know that head shake is because of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
He definitely, that was his stock to take.
There was several times his stock to take, and he just
He's just
missed
missing
much.
the.
Again, okay, rolls out.
All right. Yeah,
calling out the bluff, just like you won't get the C4 right now.
Ardog's placement of grenades, just like right behind him, has just been so good. You know, the back air,
Just
down air,
waiting out the
both
aggressive
catching it.
landing.
yeah, he's super smart. He's just keeping everything at a distance, like covering every option he can. And Salty can't really get anything started.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's still just sitting there, man. You can't forget about it.
yeah.
That's how
And,
you
and
hit.
you're still in the middle of your initial dash there of his turnaround. Like you can't.
Yeah,
you
his
can't
turn-
shield
his
there.
turnaround is not
turnaround.
that bad.
It's Falcon.
It's bad.
It's
Yeah.
bad.
It's
I said
Falcon
that's the only
turnaround.
thing that's bad about him is that dash. Next up,
It's
we got
real bad.
Keo versus Spot.
And that's the last one of the pool, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a fast.
Outside of any potential
no matter
tiebreakers.
what,
Actually,
yeah.
these best of fives have been going like speed racer.
They have been going quick.
What is-
The only game 5 set was
Spot and-
Spot Ardog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah. Everything else was 3-0.
Where is he? Where'd he go?
And it's kind of surprising too, given the lineup of characters, right? Like
Yeah.
you're expecting more slow pace of Snake, you know, Steve, right? Like
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Wario too.
So,
But
and
yeah,
Wario, yeah.
so
yeah,
my
just
big
good.
question is like, you start gaining traction in your spot set like crazy. Do you feel like you're there? Do you feel like you're fully warm, or you think you still need time?
It's kind of hard being the first person to go up, like the first group at least. I felt like I wasn't warmed up into that like really late to that spot set. I don't know, but it's like as a player you have to be prepared for that. You know, you have the schedule, you're supposed to be ready and like be prepared for it, but I just wasn't. But I mean, Keo and Spar are both like really good players, so. I wish I like brought it closer and like won, but I mean like they're really good and talented.
So the big thing we were talking about on the couch,
Unsalty.
and the thing I want to bring up to you is, you look like grease on clockwork, smooth with Snake. But you still went Ridley for that matchup. Is Ridley still coming out for this gauntlet round, or is it all Snake for the rest of the weekend?
No, it's still coming out. There's some matchups I don't really like Snake for. I don't mind the Wario and Snake matchup, but I don't know. Keo is just like a crackhead when it comes to that matchup.
Yeah.
He doesn't lose to Snake. So I'm just gonna try out the Ridley. If I have to play him again, I will go Ridley. But it'll be like more polished up and better. Cause
It definitely seemed like. I have to be honest. Almost every single one of those games in Keo's, you were starting off winning, and somehow you lost. Like even in game 2, especially, you were winning that whole time, and that final waft stock.
I mean, it's waft.
It's
And
yeah.
I said, and we did have a conversation about that. I said about that conversation we had a long time ago, where you said I'm always winning, and then Keo gets the waft, and it's over. And so, like, do you think the gameplay changes to where you need to speed it up, or you need to play safer?
I think I need to definitely play a lot more safely. I mean, Wario's gonna get the waft regardless. I mean, half waft is just as dangerous.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get it regardless. But I just have to play better around it. I have better anti-airs that I should be using that I'm not using.
Okay.
So it's just a lack of practice, but I am gonna practice
Yeah,
it.
that was the thing I was noticing with it, of like, just because Wario's approach vector is a lot of just in and above you. It's just how forward and how above. And Ridley's got the anti-airs and up tilts and fair and F tilt,
smash, and I just
but
wasn't
all of them
using
are
it.
committal, and it's just going to be how many times are you guessing right, or how many times are you in the right position, and well,
there are
unfortunately,
definitely
you guessed
some-
wrong a couple times.
Yeah,
and
there's
it
definitely
just
some
blows you
times
up.
where you were going kind of crazy on the screen. So I was it's definitely not impossible.
Exactly.
But tough for sure.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Ridley come out. I've said it like a billion times yesterday, but like benefit of the Summit format is that you have a ton of games before that final bracket.
Yeah,
So you've got all the time you need to see like how good are my options, who do I want to play against these people,
And,
and have a total amount of information going into that final bracket.
And even though every experiment didn't work, I actually don't mind starting off in losers if I have to, just because I feel like as a player I play better from behind.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like my back's to the wall, I like
He's
tend to do more
definitely been known for
explosive stuff.
his losers. Rdog has made some crazy
Absolutely.
losers I've
Yes.
seen a couple.
So I 100% believe that, yo.
Yeah.
All right, let's get salty.
For the rest of the day, I'm gonna be practicing.
Go
Sir.
do it, man. Get your work done.
I love to hear that. We better get some games.
I need to warm up before my pool at some point.
You're the last pull, right?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Oh yeah, that is true. So
Oh,
salty.
salty.
Salty, dude, why didn't you go for the top mix
Yeah, I
up
was
of
gonna
this
say no
one?
top mix up.
No top mix up?
I was trying to go for it.
Talk to
Talk in the
Mike.
mic. Talk in the mic. Talk in the mic.
We can't hear
My
you.
bad. What up?
So I have some serious questions for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you think, I said there was a lot of situations where you had the right choice, but you were slow on pulling the trigger. Do you think
Yeah.
that comes from the practice, or do you think you just were cold going in?
I think I just overthink myself sometimes.
Hesitate.
And like, yeah, and then like as soon as I realize the situation where I try to go for it, like you said, like the right decision at the wrong moment, or like at the slowest moment ever, right? I think once I realize it, I go for it anyways.
Yeah,
Just,
and
like,
I
go for
said
the
that's
best,
like
yeah.
that. You're like that second of delay. I said we've seen it with the up B on the platform.
Yeah.
You were correct, but you waited.
Yeah, I
You knew
waited.
he was gonna roll. You missed it, and you still let it rip. And then the same thing with the knee space. You knew what to do, but
you're
you
just a
waited.
little off.
You waited, and that's
jumped
why
right
you were
over.
off. You were like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get this down, and you got it, and you weren't ready. Are we refining that this weekend, or?
I'm having fun still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though,
I
like,
said you are gonna have a lot, like guaranteed 3 more sets.
Yeah.
So you have, and you have no idea who it's gonna be against.
You know, when I got into Summit, I wasn't like, oh damn, I'm gonna get my ass kicked like over and over again. I was like, damn, you know, I'm probably like one of the lowest ranking players of like our region, but I do have this opportunity to play against these top players.
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
I said I think especially mainly when it's always your opening stocks. I said your opening stocks when you're confident on what's going on the screen. I said
Yeah.
you look like you know what you're doing, and then that one combo and you just. I think it's the head shakes. Those head
Yeah.
shakes, they're not healthy for you. Going like, oh man, I should have done this. Like you
No.
got to keep that focus up.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
have to.
I get frustrated a lot with this. Like, I kind of dislike this game.
He's winning. He loses. He's
Why do you
like,
think I retired? I dislike this game sometimes, but like
No, I
the
get you.
community is cool too. So
of course it's cute because I'm here.
Yeah.
But you know, the last
No,
question I have for
okay.
you is, how do you feel about that matchup?
against Snake,
Yeah.
I think it's VS.
Do you think it's winnable?
Back when I played P+,
it's a winnable matchup for Captain Falcon, believe it or not. But then like, you know, Ultimate's different. But for what I understand, every time he was in the air, I tried to keep on juggling him with up air because I don't think Snake does pretty well in the air. So,
yeah. Snake's only like forced to do either an air dodge, like a B reverse, so you can just kind of keep sharking him. His mobility isn't great.
So I feel like the way Snake comes back down on the stage and like, you know, get back into the game is like having a bomb or like air dodging.
That's like his only real
I just
option.
gotta recognize which one comes and then like, you know.
I definitely think you. I definitely think it's winnable for you. The way I think you have to just stay in that mindset because realistically, I think we all can agree on this. Is there's so many factors when it comes to Snake, right? The grenade, the Nikita, the C4. There's so many things going on, and then you start throwing in the grabs. I think it's just a little bit more in-depth thinking, but I think you're close.
Yeah, you know, back to the drawing board, but.
All right.
I'm still having fun.
Just take it all in, man. It's still, at the end of the day, you can always learn something from every single set.
This game